Own the Road with Kelly and Bob is brought to you by Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings. Made in America, made to last. Coming up on this episode,
I wanted to create art of and beyond normal artwork. I want to show that the world that we don't see, in particular what I call the vision world.
Hi, we're Kelly
and Bob Phillips, and we're on the perpetual road trip of America's back roads,
where the journey is always the destination.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this episode of On the Road with Kelly and Bob. I'm Bob Phillips.
And I'm Kelly Phillips. Okay, let me start with a question for everyone who is listening, but since you are sitting right here with me, for you, Bob, who were the biggest influences in your life? Who were the people who helped really make you who you are today?
Well, let's see. My mom and dad were huge influencers, of course. The man who gave me my first job in television and radio, Eddie Barker. The guy who inspired me to spend my life as a storyteller, my mentor, Charles Kuralt. Yeah. And the man who had a huge influence on my desire to, just be a good person, Dallas Cowboys coach Tom Landry.
Aw. Well, would you say you were also inspired by long-gone relatives or ancestors?
Not that I'm aware of, but those are people I know little about. So I guess I can't give you a good answer to that. Now I'm curious. Is this going somewhere?
Well, of course it is. It's going to the story of a man we met recently while traveling through Idaho. A man who says his entire life has been influenced by some people he never personally knew.
I grew up in Pocatello, Idaho. I'm a member of the Shoshone-Bannock tribe, and also I have Yaqui blood from the Southwest and Mexican-American from my father's side. I grew up in both cultures, including the white man's culture.
Family and heritage mean everything to Ramon Murillo. As long as he can remember, he has heard the stories of his relatives, both those he knew well while growing up, and those ancestors he never knew.
Ramon says his mixed heritage from 3 different but related American Indian tribes on his mother's side and Mexican-American from his father have given him a unique view of the world, a view that, while anchored in the past, he says can be relevant to the present and the future.
These are things that have always influenced the choices Ramon has made, and in a way that may seem strange to most of us, set him on a path in life for which he had no choice.
Since I grew up in the city of Pocatello, I remember just a couple of main roads. We lived on the southeastern part of town, but back then there was just a main road on Yellowstone, which was just kind of maybe 4 miles long. Not many stores, no malls or anything like that. So it was really nice and simple.
Tell us your Indian name.
Dazi-oomp.
Dazi-oomp.
Yeah, with the oomp at the end.
What does that mean?
It means bringing lightness to darkness. So when my grandfather named me, he said it also means star. And I says, Grandpa, I don't know if I want to be called star because my fellow Shoshone-Bannock members might tease me and call me a superstar or a star or something. And he said, no, it's really important because it means that you have this darkness in life, and then whenever you see that, you bring that lightness to that darkness.
It's almost a very artistic name.
Yes.
Ramon Murillo says in his culture, it's often customary to name a child for what you expect he will become. For him, that name and that prediction for his future to become an artist came from his grandfather.
His name was Eddie Edmo. He spoke 3 languages, English, Shoshone, and Bannock, and was also very knowledgeable about spiritual and traditional ways.
Do you feel that in you? Do you still have that very spiritual feeling?
Yeah, because he's the one that kind of gave me permission to, I would say, run a sweat lodge. That's a pretty big deal.
Tell us about that.
The sweat lodge is a purification ceremony where, not like a church, it's more like when needed, and maybe people get in a routine where they have 1 or 2 a month. It's a purification ceremony where it's kind of like going into the sweat lodge to purify your mind, body, and spirit. But it's also similar to a rebirth where you go in with your old ways and you come out with your new ways.
An intense spiritual.
Yeah.
Do you have things that are revealed to you when you do
Yes, I
this?
do. I believe that my artwork is really based in my culture, Native American culture, Shoshone-Bannock specifically. And by that I mean like tea bag steeped into the tea where the tea becomes darker and more rich.
So did you always know that you were going to be an artist?
Absolutely. I really believe that art is innate, and particularly with me, I knew that I was going to be an artist from the very beginning. Started drawing and painting early ages, drawing at 5 and painting at the age of 15.
Tell us about your art.
I would say that I started out as a surrealist, added on abstract expressionism. With the surrealist, it has to do with the dream state and kind of the unusual world that we're not used to seeing. I think we're studying Freud right now, where the dream actually has to do with the subconscious. So you get things that are just unreal that you don't see in real life. And that's really the basis of my artist statement.
Ramon has been deeply entrenched in his culture and the practices and messages and customs that have been passed down over generations. He has achieved greatness, not just in his art, but in his ability and desire to keep that culture alive.
But just at the height of his artistic career, it was practicing the ancient ways of his people that almost killed him and changed his life forever.
That happened 6 years ago. I was helping set up a teepee because I knew how to do it. It was at our Shoshone-Bannock High School where I was teaching at the time. We used a 4-pole tripod, and this one's about 32 feet tall. And so what happens, each man gets on the pole and pulls the tripod out. Well, I was in the center with a number of students, and one of the poles slipped out of the hand from the bottom pole, which was wound up. So a 50-pound, 30-foot pole hit me in the side of the head with violent force by accident, and it caused traumatic brain injury and resulted in post-concussive syndrome, which means I get about 16 migraines a week now, and it's very debilitating.
Today, Ramon Murillo is still practicing his art and the ways of his ancestors, in spite of his brain injury. He is attending classes at a local university and attempting to pass on his knowledge and experiences to those who come behind him.
And while his speech and movements may be a bit slower than before, his passion for life and for his people and the ways he was taught remains strong. Somehow he knows his art will live forever.
My artwork is in over a dozen university collections and private collections, over a dozen museums in the United States, including Smithsonian Art Institute, Washington, D.C., and lately the Victoria Albert Gallery in London, England, and those are the 2 biggest museums in the world. And so I'm at the twilight of my career, but because of the concussion.
Did you ever think after you had the accident that you would get back to the art that you're doing now?
No, I didn't. And then not only that, but I believe that I'm doing my most strongest complex work that I've done in my career now.
Really? How does that feel?
It feels like magic. With magic, it's kind of like, it's still kind of hidden, but yet you can dig in different levels and find what you want to find in it.
During our time with Ramon Murillo, he talked about his art, of course, but he also talked about his ancestors, his culture, his customs, how he feels about the way Native Americans have been treated.
Yeah, and he talked about why after all these years, after all the success he's had, he is still attending classes at the university, and his desire to pass on his knowledge and hopefully inspiration to up-and-coming artists today.
Now I've gone to Idaho State University. Part of the dream is to pass my knowledge on to the young people so that they also can see that I'm a role model and I've accomplished national and international recognition. If I can do it from Pocatello, they can do it, the ISU students. When they're in that setting, that educational setting, in an art room, in an art studio, and they see this professional artist creating these powerful works that takes me 3 to 6 months to finish one work, when they see me doing that work and they get to ask questions and they see that when the work's finished, it is above and beyond ordinary significance. And they see that I've had a successful career, then they can hopefully feel like they can follow their dream, because if I've followed my dream and I never had any regrets and I accomplished my goals were to have my work in major art galleries on the West Coast and to have my artwork in university and museum collections, and I met my goals.
You've done all of that.
Yeah. I wanted to create art of and beyond normal artwork. I want to show that the world that we don't see, in particular what I call the vision world. I use my ceremonies, the Sweat Lodge and the Sundance ceremonies, whenever I have those experiences that are actual visions, then I put them into my artwork. The creator gave me permission to put it into my artwork, because a lot of our growing up, we would hide our culture because of the archaeologists that came in and the historians, and we would hide it. And so then that was permission for me to actually use my visions in my artwork.
Is your artwork rooted in your Native American heritage?
Absolutely, all that I do, yeah. It has to do with the Sundance, which is another purification ceremony where we go 4 days and nights without food and water. And at that point, a vision can come to you. I did it for 6 years straight, every summer. Temperatures get over 100 degrees. We dance up to a pole. In my language, the name of this ceremony is Dagawanup, which means standing thirsty for a vision. So that's pretty profound.
Is there a message in your artwork?
Yes, yeah. I'm doing a couple of series right now, and one of them is Sacred Spaces. It's a place that invites the divine mystery and encourages the spiritual openness. Sacred spaces reveal themselves. Some people say they breathe the old stories which their walls have somehow witnessed and whisper to those who listen. Usually, sacred spaces are found in inviting places, which somehow retain the aura of those who pass that way. This can be a wonderful antidote to all that is superficial in modern society. I'm what they call a painter printmaker. So mixed media. I've been a drum maker since the age of 17, and so that's painting on deer hide, buffalo, that sort of thing. Printmaking is on paper, etching into metal plates, and then the painting, of course, is with brush, and I work with acrylics. And it is called Salmon, Spirit in Turbulent Waters.
And what does it mean?
It's a metaphor for life. So as a viewer looking at the artwork, you could put yourself in place of that salmon spirit in the turbulent waters. And life, if you think about it, life is like that. We're going through turbulent waters, and then it gets calm, and then it gets turbulent, and then it gets really turbulent. And that's what it's. The salmon is also carrying a mummy, which is a person. So it's carrying basically me to the spirit world.
Can you tell us, where does the inspiration for things like that come from for you?
The Sundance ceremony. Yeah, and so again, that's 4 days and nights without food and water. But what happens in there is the mind actually, when it gets to that point where it can no longer handle, it shuts down. And then that's when, in the ceremony, when that happens, sometimes the sun dancers will actually fall as they're walking in their path to the tree. And that's the vision point. So that's where the medicine man will come out and protect them. The idea of protection means, like, when you're in that state, you could actually die and not come back. And that kind of happened to me a number of times, where it's just so beautiful and so quiet. And I feel like I kind of discovered what happens to us when we die. And what I found out is it's nothing, but it's peaceful. And so that's kind of what happened to me. So this one is the pictographs in a modern world. And it's a collograph, which is an intaglio print. And it's 20 inches by 12. And it's about transformation. The man actually becomes the buffalo in transformation form. And so that's why the man has horns and the hoofs of a buffalo. This one also is social-political in that this has meaning too. So this one's called Surrealistic Peacock. It has fluorescent paints and some silver or gold leaf in it.
Look at the colors in this.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Thanks. Those are the fluorescent colors, yeah.
Are you in another world when you're creating?
I would say that I am.
I've had other Native Americans that I've known tell me that they receive messages from their ancestors periodically throughout their life. More than one occasion, I've heard this from different people from different nations, and wondering if you've experienced that.
We kind of believe that this great spirit is in everything, the rocks, animals, people, and so forth. As far as my ancestors go, I'm a descendant of Aramo. In our language, it's pronounced Adamo. And Adamo is just one name because they just had one name back then. The name was changed to Edmo, family name. I would say that Adamo would come to me in the sweat lodge and give me some guidance.
Did your grandfather get to see you succeed in your artwork?
Yeah, my Adamo is 3 greats, so he's great, so that's 3 generations back. And then his son was Tom Edmo, who was also, they were band leaders. And then Eddie Edmo would be my grandfather. And so he's the one that got to see my artwork as it was being developed, yeah.
What did he think?
He was really proud because it was using the Native American spiritual messages or imagery, and yeah, and then he lived till the age of 95.
This land where we are right now, at one time, belonged to your tribe, to your people.
Correct, yeah.
Until the manifest destiny
Yes.
took over and America wanted to expand to the West. How has that influenced your tribe and all the others in the area?
I know that we carry with us generations of trauma from our tribe being attacked and numbers getting lower. There's I believe it's the Bear River Treaty of late 1800s, and then that's when we got put down to smaller pieces of land. I think we're at maybe 35,000 acres now, so it's pretty big reservation, 4 different districts, and within that treaty, we're able to still hunt and fish. We have those rights. We have rights to 7 buffaloes out of the Wyoming area. We have rights to salmon fishing in 100 miles up north. So that was really a big deal for us to have that in place.
Of course, before it was all yours, no one had to give you rights.
I wouldn't say it's all ours. We were nomadic people, and so that's why we went between these 3 states like Nevada, Idaho, and Wyoming, and both Shoshones and Bannocks.
Do you speak Shoshone?
I am not fluent, but I understand enough to go to, like, whenever they have speakers at powwows, to understand. And then I'm also able to pray in my language. That's why I can help to run sweat lodges, because I can pray in my language, but I'm not fluent.
Where do you want your art to go or to take you?
I'm in the twilight of my career, 50 years of making art. And I got a degree, I got a number of degrees from Idaho State University in education and fine arts, and a master's degree in printmaking from the University of Oregon, postgraduate degree from Canada is also non-toxic printmaking. Even you two calling me or texting me and saying that you wanted to interview me, it tells me that the work is still talking to people. It is powerful, informative, and it's just a reaffirmation that I'm doing the right thing and that people are still responding to the work.
And you're right. We saw your work online and both were instantly moved by what you had done. Is there something in your artwork that you hope that non-Native Americans can take away about Native Americans?
Yes. First of all, I would say the spiritual. If you experience the pictographs, the sacred spaces, that you will, as a non-Native, see that the Native Americans were very spiritual and still are. We are at times called the carekeepers of Mother Earth. And so I hope they realize that the Mother Earth is so important to us.
Can you tell us what art is to you?
Art to me is life. I believe that societies need art for healing, for seeing in a different way, for bringing people together, because art is a visual language that all cultures and nations can understand.
How long do you think you'll do this?
For as long as I can, till I die. Art is like breathing. I can't do without it.
That's all for this week's episode of Own the Road with Kelly and Bob. A big thank you to the folks at Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings, the incredible company that keeps us traveling the back roads of America, and to all of our friends and colleagues here at the Odyssey Network.
Hey, do us a quick favor. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Give us a like or a follow. We'd really appreciate it. We'd also love to hear from you. Got a great story idea? Send it our way. mail@bobphillips.com. Don't forget to catch On the Road with Kelly and Bob. Listen wherever you get your podcast or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.com. Remember, new episodes drop every week.